Yeah, okay, thank you.
Doctor, may I have a slide?
Yeah, I will give you the latest one. This is also, I have to download the latest one. I will see any difference. But so far, I will use, this is from previous semester. I will give you in the author. So anything, the RPP, the latest one, the slide also I will give you within this week lah, before Thursday, before our class Thursday, right? Okay, so, right, okay, right, chapter 1. If you have any question, just ask me. I can't see you. I'm afraid if I join another one, there will be echo. You just can interrupt me if you have question. Right. Okay, so this is for chapter 1. Introduction to construction industry, project management, construction management, and contract management. So the second one is we try to distinguish lah few terminology lah. And then the third one is more on the who are involved in the construction project and contract management. I think this is also not very difficult for you. And then this one is stages and process of construction project. Okay, so we try to cover at least today introduction to construction industry, project management, and maybe the first 3. We try lah if we can until 6 o'clock. Okay. Right, so this is examples of some like a manual guidance provided by our construction industry development board. So this is actually provided by CIDB. By CIDB. Okay. Can you see my slide clearly? The scribble, is it clear? The CIDB, can you see it clearly?
Yes, doctor.
Alright, okay. Right, okay, so this is CITP. We call it CITP. Okay, see, this is 2016 and 2020. Now we are in 2023, right? So our current, this one, see, we have NCP 2030. Okay, so our directions. So this is document provided by Ministry of Works to actually to direct our construction industry to a better level into 2030. Okay. Right, so actually you can download this. You try Google this. If not, maybe later I can share with the slides later. Okay, so I want you to go through this NCP 2030. Maybe I will give a very light discussion for you to actually to discuss in group and then present in the class while in the class. Very light exercise. Right, okay, so you can read this on your own thing. So this is also you can find in the NCP 2030. Okay. So this is just an overview. What are the actually the organization actually involved in gearing our construction industry towards a better level lah. Okay, so we have CIDB. Okay, established in 1994. Okay, and then we have also Malaysian Highway Authority or Lembaga Lebuh Raya Malaysia. So this is our highway authority. Okay, we also have BEM, Board of Engineers Malaysia. We also have Board of Architect Malaysia. They call it LAM in Malay. Lembaga Arkitek Malaysia. here we have BQ as the quantity surveyors. So these are three personnels that actually very important lah in Malaysia. So we have engineers, we have architects, we have quantity surveyors. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So this also from World Economic Forum. So this is our current trend. We have disruptive technologies. Top 10 disruptive technology in construction. So maybe you can Google and discuss lah later in group. So we have prefab and modular construction. Okay, so our IBS is under this lah. Industrialized building system. So it's part of this prefabrication and modular construction. Okay. And then advanced building material. Okay. We have also 3D printing and additive manufacturing. So you can explore later 3D printing. So actually if you Google in YouTube, we can have very big scale 3D printing, which actually using the 3D printer, they can build a house. Okay, and then autonomous construction. Okay, this is VR, augmented reality visualizations. We have big data. Okay, and then wireless monitoring and connected equipment. Cloud and real-time collaboration, scanning photogrammetry and building information modeling. This is BIM lah. Okay, so I think some of the terminology you are familiar with lah. Okay. Right, so I think I will give you light discussion lah later on this. Right, so 9 pillars of the IR 4.0, but actually now we are moving to IR 5.0. Okay, so this is actually the 10, almost similar with the 10 disruptive technology. Okay. So little bit on NCP 2030. So they have these 4 main objectives. The first one, to develop a comprehensive, inclusive and people-centric policy. Okay, through intelligent planning, designing, procuring, constructing, producing, altering, repairing, maintaining, and management of infrastructure. So how to be inclusive and people-centric. So how to actually make sure that all the key parties work together lah. So maybe last time the way the professional works is very fragmented. So now we want to all of them work together more in a better teamwork lah. Okay, so hopefully by having a better technology like BIM, they can help lah. They will help the professional to work together in easier way lah. Okay. Then to stimulate and endeavour a culture of high standard and quality in the construction sector. So how to improve our construction quality, not only the product, but the process, the welfare of the worker, the labor especially. Is actually it is normal thing. We can see our labor, they live in very poor accommodation, right? In Malaysia, we have very specific terminology, rumah kongsi, right? So this is very bad reputation lah, very bad image for our construction industry. So how actually we can improve better quality of life lah for the worker and all other construction personnel. To embrace and utilize future trends in the construction sector. And the fourth one is to develop a comprehensive guide and strengthen credibility through good governance and best practices. So I think all of this you can try read in NCP 20 to capture what is the meaning of all this thing. Okay, so this is the same thing. Okay, so that is a little bit on NCP. Right, so we move to construction. So construction, we always say construction, discuss about construction. But what is the meaning of the construction? Okay, construction refers to the process of building physical structures and related activities. Okay, the processes. So this is processes. Okay, of building physical structures and related activities. So the process, there are a lot of processes, not only the construction itself. The related activities. What are the activities? Okay, so that is construction. Sometimes, for example, the monitoring of the construction project, it is also referred to the processes, the related activities. Okay. For example, ordering the materials, okay, transporting the materials. So that is also part of the related activities. Okay. Right, and then the end products are site specific. For each product, the process involves the elaborate planning, design, management, and assembly of resources. So we have human, finance, materials. Okay. So we have, sometimes they call it 4M lah. Man, right? Manpower. Okay. What else? Materials. Money. What is another M? Machine. Okay.
Machineries.
Yeah, machineries. Yeah. So that is 4M. Okay. So the end product, they call it the end product, are site specific. Even though, for example, I give you schools. Okay, schools under government school under government. So normally the design of the school is similar. Okay. So but even though the design, the appearance is similar, but the location, when the location is different, so the location, especially in terms of the soil, the types of the soils will influence the pad foundations, the foundations of the building. Okay, so due to that, it will cause the overall project cost will differ from one to another. Okay, so that's why site specific. Okay. Okay, then it encompasses all types of building. Okay, buildings, civil engineering works, repair, maintenance of existing structure. So construction cover all types of building, all civil engineering works, and the repair and maintenance of the structures. Okay, so covers everything. Right. So Malaysian Industrial Classification, MIC, refers to construction as new construction, new, alteration, repair, demolition. So that is part of construction. The installation of any machinery or equipment which is in at the time of the original construction is included, as well as installation of machinery or equipment, okay, after the original construction, but which requires structural alteration in order to install. Okay, so meaning these are also part of the construction. Okay, so there are two types of categories construction: general contracting and also special trade contracting. Okay, so general cover residential, non-residential, civil and engineering construction. Okay, special trade, specialist work. Specialist work covers metal work, electrical, refrigerations and air conditioning, carpentry, planting. This is for landscaping. Okay, so this is categories of construction work. Right, so this is another way of categorizing construction project. So building and civil engineering construction. Okay, so building we can categorize under industrial. For example, like a factory. So warehouse, that is part of industrial. Agricultural, for example, for kitchen, for chicken, for example chicken, they want to and also for planting, for example hydroponics or whatever, so they need a building to house the activity, so that is part of agricultural lah. Okay, and then community, like common community building. What else? Maybe rumah, they call it in Malay, in we have what? Community area. So they want orang ramai, for example lah. So that is community lah. Hall community hall. So that this part of community hall. Okay, residential housing lah. Okay, housing housing area. Maybe condominium, that is part of residential. Okay, educational, university, school. Okay, then recreational and medical, social. Recreational, maybe like a stadium, medical, like hospital, so that is part of building construction. Okay, and then civil engineering construction, we have dam. Okay, we have port, airport, highway, submarine pipeline. What else? So these are civil engineering construction. Maybe if we have some time in space, construction in space, so that is also part civil engineering construction. Right, okay. So the environment of the construction industry, this is normal lah, dirty, dusty, danger. Maybe we can add another one, difficult. What else? You can add other D lah. Right, so this is the construction industry. So they are gathering, this industry actually gathering of multi-sectors industries. There are many industries actually involved. Okay, for example, manufacturing, right? So because we want to have the material, like tiles, like the building components, so we need manufacturing industry. What other industries? Maybe like finance. Okay, finance industry. What else? There are other industries involved. Okay. Right, and then installation process or combination or compilation construction materials or building components. So that is construction actually we are talking about the installation process. Okay, or combination or compilation construction materials or building components. And this is actually a manufacturing process. Okay, so construction is actually involved manufacturing process. Right, okay. So the characteristics, these are some of the characteristics we will discuss in detail after this. So the product are heterogeneous. The final process is in situ. Final process, okay, is in situ. For example, even though we have IBS, but we need to install on site. Okay, that's why the final process is in situ. Okay, the product is unique. The output consists of capital goods. Okay, and then this is normal separation of design and construction responsibility, and then setting up ad hoc team. the team might be changed from time to time, and then we also have different way of determining the price of the project, and also last one is the risk. Okay, we go through each characteristics. Okay. Okay, the products are heterogeneous. Okay, the products are different in terms of design, size, location, and in terms of end use. Okay, so heterogeneous, different. Okay, the products differ widely in terms of the materials, okay, techniques used in production. Okay, so the size, the locations, the design will make the products unique and different from the others. Like I said just now on this in terms of the school. Even the design same, the size is same, but the location is different, then the project is still unique, because it involves different piling types. Okay, maybe it requires different types of foundation. Okay, so and then the cost will be different. Okay, the final process is in situ. Okay, the finished product is actually permanent in the particular location where the construction takes place. Okay. Okay, sebab so the building normally, or the structure or the infrastructure that we build will actually generally permanent in the particular locations. Okay. Okay, the final process of construction must be in situ. Okay, although some sections of the completed products may be produced elsewhere. So this is like example for IBS. Okay, we have a different component. Maybe we have floor. Okay, we have maybe we have wall which is produced window. Normally wall with window and door in the wall, so they come together. So we have to install. Finally, we have to install on site. Okay, so that is the final process is in situ. Okay, there is a limit on the potential for prefabrication. Okay, prefab, meaning we do it in other places. For example, factory lah, IBS factory. Refers to using component parts of section of structure produced elsewhere, perhaps on the basis of economies of scale. Okay, for example, here, this is very important. If the manufacturing can produce many goods, they can produce in big volume, so they will have better profit, but at lower cost. So this is an economies of scale lah. So meaning, for example, we have standard. There are many standard. For example, roof structure maybe. This is also standard, right? Made of steel or aluminium. Okay, so we also have, like for example, column. What else? Maybe we have like ABS component lah. So this is prefab lah, part of prefab. Okay, there must always be a balance between the saving that may begin for prefabrication and the ensuing cost of transportation of components part of section of structure to the construction site. Okay, so there must always be a balance between the savings from the prefabrication and ensuing cost of transportation. So this is if too much of prefabrication, but we need to consider high transportation cost. So we need to balance this lah. Okay, since the products of construction are site specific, generally they can be produced in advance of demand, but they have to be sold before they are produced. Okay, construction therefore follows a sequential process of planning, ordering, and the final productions on a particular location where they are required. Okay, so different like maybe car. Okay, car versus house, for example. So we want to do comparison. Is this statement valid or not? Okay. They cannot be produced in advance of demand, okay, but rather have to be sold before they are produced, okay. So is this correct for house? Yeah. Anybody want to try? Give your opinion on this. Compared house with car. How do you think this statement? Is still this statement valid for construction? Anybody want to try? Nobody. Maybe I just call some name. Haziq? Haziq, are you here? Where is Haziq? Okay. Frederick, you have any idea on this? Frederick, okay. Why everybody silent?
Hello?
Yeah, Frederick, yeah, try. You heard my question? Do this statement still valid for our construction industry? What do you think?
I guess
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's still valid.
Yeah. How? How?
Got no idea. Sorry, Doctor.
It's okay, it's okay. Lina, Chang Lina, do you have any idea? Lina, okay. Anybody? Chang Lina, you are not here? Okay. Right, okay. Anybody want to try? Okay, so alright. Since no response, so maybe I will give this in a quiz lah. Okay. So maybe you have to come up with your own idea why this actually this statement is actually still valid for our construction industry. Compare with manufacturing versus construction. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. I move to the next one. Capital goods. The output consists of capital goods. So, right. Capital investment goods refer to products required for the production of other goods or services in an economy. Okay. The products of construction including roads, okay, railways, air and sea ports, airport and sea ports, telecommunication, electricity generations and transmission. This is actually referring to dam, right? Water supply, building for factories, offices, hospitals, schools, houses. So these are actually called as capital or investment goods, okay? So meaning with all this, for example, for the factory, so the factory can be operated for economy activity. So that's why we call it as capital goods. Okay, right. Okay, Next, separation of design and construction responsibility. So this is very common lah in construction industry. General trend. The party that design the project is normally different from the party that construct the project. So normally this is consultant. Divide. The design is provided by the consultant, and then the construction work will be done by the contractor. Okay. Right. Okay, so this is, we call it traditional system lah. Okay, traditional system of construction procurement, which actually follow this sequential. Follow this sequence, which is client engage team of designer to produce design. Okay, and then once the design is completed, tender documents are prepared, and then tender is invited. Okay. Tender are open to contracting firms, and then the contracting firms will enter the tender. They will give their bid, and then there will be evaluation, and then the project will be awarded to the successful contracting firm. So this is normal process lah. Okay. So the design and construction is done by different parties. Okay. However, there are alternative approaches such as design and build, autarky system, and management-oriented system. This that we will learn in detail in our chapter 7. Chapter 7, okay, where this system is developed in response to problems that may arise from the separations of the responsibility for the design from the responsibility for construction. Okay, so the issue is design is done by the consultant, construction is actually done by the contractor. Sometimes the design provided by the architect, especially architect. Okay, so normally for building, the design is prepared by the architect lah. So sometimes the design is very futuristic, very artistic, and it is difficult for the contractor to build. Yeah. So the contractor and also the design engineers, for example, so the engineer and also the contractor, sometimes it is very difficult to design the structure for the building due to very artistic design of the architect. Okay. So that is actually, we are talking about the constructability of the design. So the design is very futuristic, but very difficult to design, very difficult to construct. So meaning that the constructability is low lah. Okay. So constructability or buildability, the terminology. It is actually a terminology of how easy to transform the design into the end product lah, to physical building. So that is buildability or constructability. Okay, so this is the issue lah, if the design is provided by different party compared to this design and build, DB. Later we'll discuss in detail in chapter 7, but under DB is actually the contractor not only construct, but he also actually design the building. So he, in a way, he will design the building in such a way it is easy for him to construct the building. So normally DB, the constructability is high. So the contractor will avoid to come up with difficult design. So they will provide a design that is easy for them to construct. Okay. Understand? Any questions so far? Okay, class?
Okay, Doktor.
Okay, thank you. Right, and then this is the characteristic to setting up ad hoc team. Okay, so this is ad hoc. Ad hoc means according to the necessity lah. Very small projects. This is not something permanent. From time to time, the team will be changed. So construction project requires the setting of an ad hoc team consisting of persons and firms is specializing in a particular area together to complete the project. Okay, since a construction project is one of its kind, it is unlikely for the same team to work together again. And if they do so, it will be for a different project in a different location. So the team will always change, not only the same contractor will work with the same contractor, not necessarily, but it may happen that the client, the contractor and the consultant will work together for same project few times, but not all the time lah. So definitely there will be change in the personnel in the company, so whatever. So that is the setting of the ad hoc team. Okay, right, and then the price limitation determinations. So they will be measurement based. So the contractor is paid for the work based on the actual quantities of the work, okay, that form the finished project multiplied by the respective units rates. Okay, the quantities of work is measured prior to commencement or alternatively after the work is completed. Okay, the contractor is also paid for cost of plant hire, temporary materials, contractors overhead and profits. So this is actually part of chapter 7 also. We will look in detail lah. So but this is part of the characteristics. There are different methods of determining the price of the project. Okay, right, and then another one, reimbursement of cost method. The contractor is paid for the actual cost of material that have been used, the time spent on the project by the operatives and agreed amount of the contractor's profits and overheads. Okay, so the first one is based on measurement based method. Once the project is completed, only then the measurement will be take place lah to calculate how many quantities, how many workers he actually use. So that is measurement based. And then the other one is based on the reimbursement of cost, of actual cost. The first one is based on actual cost. The first one is actual quantities of work. So normally we need to have this BQ lah. Okay, so we have this BQ in advance. So only then we can price the work based on the BQ. The second one is reimbursement of cost method based on the actual cost of material. So based on the material and then the time spent, contractor's profit and overhead. So they will calculate. So this is another way lah. Yeah. Right, okay, and then the risk. Construction works involves risk. The level of risk is considered much higher than in other types of economic activities. Okay, very high risk project. Construction entrepreneur moves from one location to another, organize logistic required to complete project and follows a bespoke design for each project. So different. What is bespoke here? Different changes every time. Different project have different design. So according to what the client wants. Okay, so there is no fixed design. Okay, so because of that, this will increase the risk of the project. The difficult is the design to be constructed. Okay, the risky the project. Okay. Okay, most contracts are awarded through some forms of competitive tenders. Okay, so the tenders, the tendering, whether it is open tender, whether it is selective or selected, or based on direct nego. Okay, so this will actually contribute to different degree of risk lah to the client and also to the contractor. So normally for open tender, this will give a chance for the client to have a competitive contractor. So they will see what is the price, what is the quality of the contractor. So he will be able to get the best contractor lah from this. Okay, compared to the rest lah. Okay, so this we will learn later lah in chapter 6 chapter 6. Okay, right. Okay, so this is also other way lah of illustrating the characteristics of construction industry. So time consuming, so we understood, this is very common for construction project to have delay, very difficult for a project to really finish on time. So unique, fragmented industry, this is what I just mentioned to you just now. Design is prepared by the contractor, design is prepared by the consultant, and then the contractor will do the construction. So they have fragmented industry. Okay, and then job opportunities, this construction industry actually provide many job opportunities lah. If a project is started in one area, so they will not only provide jobs for in the construction site itself, but maybe they will influence the economic activity around the area lah. For example, maybe selling foods for those who actually locals who can rent their houses to the workers. That is examples how actually the construction industry actually can stimulate other economic activity. Okay, and then risky investment. So this is very risky lah, not only for the client and also for the contractor. If especially something bad happen, for example COVID, last time we have MCO, so the project delay due to that. For example, for flood, so the project have to be delayed. So that is very risky. Okay, vast workload. There are a lot of work to be done. And then complex organization. Complex organization. So this will involve many parties lah in the construction industry. So we'll learn later in future slides lah. And then separated process also, like just now we plan, maybe we have planning stage and then focus to design maybe, and then tender, and then construction. So the process are separated. Okay, and then lack of cooperation. This is also related to this fragmented industry lah, right? Okay, and then relying to other industry, like I said, just manufacturing, right? And then what else? Maybe financing, maybe transportation. So these are other industry actually involved in making the construction project successful. Right? Okay, I think that's all. We managed only to touch on characteristics. Okay, because I have to go back because this is fasting month, so I think you guys also at home need to help your family to prepare food for breaking fast. Right? Okay. So that's all. Any question, class, so far?
So far so good.
No, doctor.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. So I think that's all. So I think this team actually will do the attendance taking. And then it will stop recording. Okay. So they will have attendance for me. So far, Abdi Razak, Aisyah, Akmal,